As part of the In Search of the American Dream topic, we are going to briefly talk you through various historians' arguments on the impact of Reagan's presidency on American attitudes towards foreign policy. Reagan was president from 1981 to his retirement in 1989. During this period, he signed the Strategic Defense Initiative, a space-based missile defense program designed to outwit the Soviet Union. Francis Fukuyama assessed the impact of Reagan's presidency on America as spreading American liberalism globally. He wrote that there were two main challenges to liberalism. These were fascism and communism. Fascism had already failed in the 1940s, and communism had little appeal in America due to the nation's egalitarianism. Thus, Reagan's defeat of communism has led to the growing common marketization of international relations. However, ethnic and nationalistic conflicts have not been completely played out, and there were to be conflicts in the future. Writing in 2008, Hugo Heclo took a more militaristic approach to Reagan's legacy. Reagan viewed America's response to the Soviet Union as a direct response to communism. Reagan was equally clear that, to preserve peace and the nation's security, the US must have unquestioned military strength. Heclo argues that Reagan's view meant that there were only two possible ways to peace. Either America had to surrender, or it had to overpower its opposition. Reagan opted for peace through superior strength, both militarily and economically. Thus, the Cold War ended shortly after he left office. Reagan's approach to communism proved influential for his successor, George W. Bush. After 9/11, Bush presented America's democratic approach as an antidote to terrorism. This was similar to Reagan's blind panic surrounding anything that could be akin to communism, leading America to supporting proxy wars which could be warped as fighting against the Soviet communist belief. There are, of course, wider arguments. Reagan and Reaganism warped and changed the meaning of the word freedom into a very traditional American definition and then exported it worldwide. They reshaped the idea of liberty to match a conservative viewpoint, making it anti-communist, putting limits on government, keeping the government out of people's lives, and forged Jeffersonian ideals of the best form of government is the least form of government. This is a very American form of liberty, and then it was militarily exported worldwide. However, some have argued that the heart of Reagan's politics was that he had imagined a past. He imagined a sort of romantic view of America that was out of touch with both America in the late 20th century and the rest of the world. Further, the Reagan Revolution shifted political discourse in the West to the right. It encouraged distrust of large government and bureaucracy, celebrated decreasing taxes and increasing government deregulation, and it encouraged a new role for the religious right in politics. These ideals became the basis of conservatism through the end of the 20th century and into the 21st century. Our long-term commitments, for example, in the Middle East are as a result of Reaganism's enduring legacy into the 21st century. In conclusion, Reagan caused America and the West to take a lurch to the right. As a Cold Warrior, he is oft-cited as the man who brought the American-Soviet conflict to a close, ended communist occupation of Eastern Europe, and ushered in a new world order of near-universal Western democracy and freedom for millions. At home, his return to traditional American values saw not only a revived economy and individualism, but a return of faith in the office of the presidency after 2 decades of failed executives. On the other hand, however, his domestic economic policies alienated millions of Americans, especially ethnic minorities who found themselves trapped on low-wage jobs or in unemployment. American values, perhaps not in tune with the rest of the world, were then ruthlessly exported globally to countries who neither wanted nor needed it. This legacy of militarized democracy continues to this day, with futile military ventures and trade wars by Western democracies in the Middle and Far East.